Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. As a part of TG SET 2025 English Literature preparation, in this video we are going to discuss 2024 question paper, detailed explanation with answers. And this is going to be the second video in the TG SET 2024 question paper series. In the previous video, that is video 1, we have discussed the first 10 questions of 2024 question paper of English literature, and in this video we are going to discuss the remaining questions of 2024 question paper of TG SET English literature. Let's look at the questions. In the previous video we discussed till question number 60, and in this video we are going to continue from 61 question. Here you can see the 61 question. Who coined the term habitus in cultural theory? And the options are Claude Lévi-Strauss, Maurice Bloch, and Pierre Bourdieu, and Richard Hogarth. And here you can see who coined the term habitus in cultural theory. And the answer is Pierre Bourdieu. That is third answer. Pierre Bourdieu is a French sociologist. Yes. Who coined the term habitus, and he is none other than Pierre Bourdieu, and he is a French sociologist. Here you can write down the notes regarding Pierre Bourdieu, additional information related to Pierre Bourdieu. He is a French sociologist and he coined the term habitus. And habitus, what does it mean by habitus? Habitus refers to a set of dispositions, preferences, and perceptions that individuals acquire through their social experiences and environment, and which shapes their behaviors and tastes. And he used this concept to explain social structures influence individual actions and cultural practices. Yes, he coined this term in cultural theory. And the 62nd question, which African American novel has the famous battle royal scene? Yes, here they are asking us to find a novel which comes under African American origin and which has the famous battle royal scene. Yes, and the options are Richard Wright's Native Son, Ralph Ellison's Invisible Man, and James Baldwin's Go Tell It on the Mountain, and Alice Walker's Color Purple. And the answer is Ralph Ellison's Invisible Man. Yes, Invisible Man was published in 1952, and which is a novel written by Ralph Ellison which contains famous battle royal scenes. And we can find this battle royal scene in the opening episode where the protagonist was unnamed and he forced to participate in a brutal blindfold boxing match. Yes, this appears in the Ralph Ellison's Invisible Man. Yes, as we move forward, 63rd question, which fictional persona is adapted by Robert Burton in The Anatomy of Melancholy? And the options are Parson Yorick, Elizabeth Costello, Democritus Jr., and Cornelius Jr. Yes, which fictional persona is adapted by Robert Burton in The Anatomy of Melancholy? And the answer is Democritus Jr. And Robert Burton uses this pseudonym to present himself as a modern follower of ancient philosopher Democritus, which reflects satirical and philosophical tone of the work. Yes. In this work, he adapted the fictional persona, that is Democritus Jr., and who is the follower of the ancient philosopher Democritus. So the answer is third option, Democritus Jr. And the 64th question, which of the following is not a short story by Mukraj Anand? Yes, he is one of the famous writers among Indian English writers, and the options are, here you need to note, you need to underline or focus that here they are asking not a short story by Mukraj Anand. So, which is not a work of Mukras Anand. And the options are the Barbers Trade Union, the Mark of Vishnu, Lajwanti, and the fourth option is the Tractor and the Corn Goddess. And the answer here is Mark of Vishnu is not a short story by Mukras Anand. The Babas Trade Union, Lajwanti, the Tractor and the Corn Goddess were written by Mukras Anand, but the Mark of Vishnu was written by R.K. Narayan, not by Mukras Anand. So the correct answer here is second option, the Mark of Vishnu, written by R.K. Narayan, not by Mukras Anand. As we move forward, 65th question. Who defined culture as the best that has been said and thought in the world? Yes. And the options are Raymond Williams, Samuel Johnson, Matthew Arnold, and Lytton Storchy. Yes. Here, the word culture, and we can relate this word to two of the major figures. They are Raymond Williams, Matthew Arnold, and also Lytton Storchy. They talked about the culture majorly in their works. But here the definition, the best that has been said and thought in the world, and it is given by Matthew Arnold. Yes, as we all know, Matthew Arnold was the 19th century English poet and critic, and he defined culture as the best that has been said and thought in the world. And in the year 1869, he also published a book, famous book, that is Culture and Anarchy. Whenever you find the term culture, you can relate it with Matthew Arnold because the famous work Culture and Anarchy was written and published by him in 1869. Yes. As we move forward, 66th question. Which of the following books offers a fascinating glimpse of English in colonial India? Yes. Which book talks about the fascinating glimpses of English in the colonial India? Yes. Here the question is about we need to find the book which showcases the English during colonial India. And the answer here is, and the options are Professing Literature, Changing Places, Faculty Towers, and Masks of Conquest. And the correct answer here is Masks of Conquest, which is the fourth option. And Masks of Conquest was written by Gauri Vishwanathan. Yes, here you need to underline, and here you need to note down in your notebook. Take a notebook, pen and paper, and write down these additional information related to these options and the question. Yes, Masks of Conquest was written by Gauri Vishwanathan. And in this work, she examines how English literature was used as a colonial tool, to control India, and offering insight into the role of English in colonial India and its cultural and political implications. Yes, how the Britishers used English as a tool to control and use their power in India, and also its political and cultural implications. And these were discussed in this work, Masks of Conquest, written by Gauri Vishwanathan. And the other options, Professing Literature. Professing Literature, and the full title of this work is Professing Literature and Institutional History, which was written by Gerald Graff, and Changing Places. Changing Places was written by David Lodge, which is a campus novel. And the third option, Faculty Towers. And the full title of this Faculty Towers was Faculty Towers, the academic novel and its discontent. And it was written by Paul Auster. And here you need to write down all these works and their authors' names. You need to remember and revise all these things. And the correct answer for this question, which of the following books offers a fascinating glimpse of English in colonial India? That is the fourth option, Marks of Conquest, written by Gauri Vishwanathan. As we move forward, 67th question, and here we have matched the following. We need to match character with the work, and the characters in the first list we have Elizabeth Bennet, Mrs. Ramsay, Becky Sharp, and Mrs. Wilcox. And in the other list, they gave us works: Howard's End, Pride and Prejudice, To the Lighthouse, and Vanity Fair. Yes, here we need to match these characters with the work. Yes, first we need to look at the authors of these works. Yes, this question is very informative. It gives so much of information for the people who are preparing for TGSET 2025. Here you can note down the additional information that I am giving to you now. Yes, first work, that is Howard's End. Yes, in the list too you can see the works. Howard's End was written by E.M. Forster. And Pride and Prejudice. Pride and Prejudice was written by Jane Austen. And To the Lighthouse, and it was written by Virginia Woolf. And the last work, that is Vanity Fair. Vanity Fair was written by W.M. Thackeray. That is William Makepeace Thackeray. Yes, Howard's End written by E.M. Forster, Pride and Prejudice by Jane Austen, To the Lighthouse by Virginia Woolf, Vanity Fair by William Makepeace Thackeray. Yes, here now we are going to match the characters with the work. Elizabeth Bennet. Here, this is one of the main characters in the Pride and Prejudice, which is written by Jane Austen. Yes, Elizabeth Bennet appears in Jane Austen's Pride and Prejudice. And Mrs. Ramsay. Mrs. Ramsay is a key character in Virginia Woolf's novel To the Lighthouse. Yes, Mrs. Ramsay, To the Lighthouse. And Becky Sharp. Yes, Becky Sharp appears in the William Makepeace Thackeray's novel Vanity Fair. Becky Sharp, Vanity Fair. And Mrs. Wilcox. Mrs. Wilcox appears in Howard's End, which is written by E.M. Forster. Mrs. Wilcox, Howard's End. Yes. Here the correct option here is first one, Elizabeth Bennet, Pride and Prejudice, Mrs. Ramsay, To the Lighthouse, Becky Sharp, Vanity Fair, and Mrs. Wilcox, Howard's End. Yes. All of you write down the content that I am giving, the additional information that I am giving related to these options and the lists. Yes, as we move forward, 68th question. Which of the following is not a part of the practice in digital humanities? Intersection of, yes, here you need to focus on not a part of the practice in digital humanities. Yes. And the options are intersection of computing and the disciplines of the humanities, interdisciplinarity, reinforcing the great tradition, and processing information in electronic form. Yes, let's decode these options. Intersection of computing and the disciplines of humanities. Yes, which is obviously digital humanity means combining the humanities with the new digital things. So, first option is obviously related to the practice of digital humanities and interdisciplinarity. Interdisciplinarity is nothing but combining different fields of studies. For example, English literature and digital humanities and science and digital humanities. We can combine various subjects and various methods. So, interdisciplinarity is applicable and it is also a part of digital humanities. And reinforcing the great tradition. Yes, here it gives a negative connotation related to digital humanities because it does not describe a core practice of the digital humanities, and it is sounding like a preserving the old tradition, old and established ideas without any digital focus, without any modern focus, which is reinforcing the great tradition, which implies the preservation of the old methods and traditions. So, here the third option is not going to be suitable for the digital humanities. So, reinforcing the great tradition is not a part of the practice in digital humanities. And we can see the fourth option too, processing information in electronic form. Obviously, by mixing the digital and humanities, here we can process the information in the electronic form by using the data in the various gadgets. So, reinforcing the great tradition, that is third option, is not a part of the practice in digital humanities. So the correct answer here is third option. Yes, as we move forward, 69th question. The tone of Philip Larkin's church going is best described as. Yes, and the options are conversational and ironic, religious and reverential, tourcity and humorous, aloof and condescending. And yes, the tone of Philip Larkin's church going. Church going is a famous poem written by Philip Larkin, and in this poem he has written this poem in a very casual and everyday conversational way. And sometimes at various points in the poem he uses questions to ironical questions to relevance to check the relevance of the religion in the modern day life. So the correct answer here is conversational and ironic. The Philip Larkin's poem Church Going is in the tone of conversational and ironic. In this poem, the speaker visits a church and reflects on its fading importance. And he discusses about the relevance of the religion in the modern life. And he discusses all these things in a conversational and ironic way. So the correct answer here is first option. As we move forward, in 70th question, in critical theory, hegemony refers to. Yes, here they are talking about again critical theory. Hegemony. Hegemony refers to, and the first option here they gave us four options, and we need to choose two options among all these four. First option is one set of beliefs and practices associated with a specific culture, and the second one an anthropology of the excessive and a paradoxical synthesis of consent and coercion, ruptures or breaks in time. And choose the correct answer from the options given below. Here we need to find the two options. Yes, In a simple definition, hegemony is nothing but the way a ruling group makes its own beliefs and practices, which becomes the normal way of thinking for everyone in a society. So, the correct answer here is C, the first option, one set of beliefs and practices associated with a specific culture. Yes, here the dominant ideas of a particular society, particular culture, which shapes the society. And third option, a paradoxical synthesis of consent and coercion. Yes, it is nothing but a blend of voluntary acceptance and subtle force that keeps the dominance in place. Yes, here the correct answer here is first and third. So the paradoxical synthesis of consent. Consent is nothing but voluntary acceptance, and the other options are not going to suit to this. Hegemony is nothing but a ruling group people, their dominance, which becomes their practices, and their culture becomes the dominant thing which shapes the society. And coercion is nothing but pressure or any force. Yes, either the people has to consent, or the dominant people they coerce onto the weaker section of the people, weaker sections of the society. So the correct answer here is second option. As we move forward, 71 question. Yes, this is all about the second video. In this video we discuss the questions from 61 to 70, and in the next video, in the third video, we are going to discuss the questions from 71. Very soon I am going to upload the next video, that is video 3 in the TGSET 2024 question paper English literature series. Subscribe to our channel to get the notification of the upcoming videos and the content related to English literature and TGSET and UGC NET preparation. Yes, as we have very less time, don't waste your time. Focus on your preparation, boost up your preparation, watch all the content in our YouTube channel which is useful to you, which in this channel is exclusively dedicated to English literature. And don't waste your time. Yes, if you like the content, click on the like button, share it to your friends, and subscribe to our channel. Thank you for watching.